Hello, thank you very much, Omar. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 9th episode of Superhero League. Thank you very much for joining. My name is Mary, and I have my colleague, Alex Casas, today. We will be hosting this amazing broadcast, which has two very spicy topics. So on the one hand, we have Uruguay Can's project, yes, this new solution that they are releasing, which involves traceability on medical cannabis. So luckily we have the panel with many team members that are here to tell us the story, how we got here, and also we're going to have a very small live demo, so stay here for that. And you will be also able to ask questions to this panel regarding any concerns or insights you would like to have regarding this project. On the other hand, we have some great news regarding superhero fundraising this weekend. Yes, for Penny Dinner in Ireland. So Live Aid Virtual Festival is happening this Saturday at 4 p.m. And Leah and Owen will be joining us later on to tell us everything about this, how you can contribute, how you can buy a ticket, how you can help, right? And also what an amazing lineup do we have for that instance. But first, Alex will share with you some news about Superhero League. Alex?
Hello, everyone. First, let me recover for where I have just seen. It's so amazing. I want to thank the work that Bikram and Biswas have been doing with Hypershine, because this is just an amazing use case of state channels. There is a very unique feature of aeternity blockchain, and I would encourage you all to have it a look and think in these awesome use cases, because just your imagination is your limit. So drop in our GitHub, dig in it, because it's a really breaking through technology and possibilities that are really special to the aeternity protocol. And just to remember that now, from now on, we are live on YouTube and LinkedIn, and please, the participation is still welcome. So you can drop your comments, your thoughts, of course, your questions in the comment section. And remember that if you put your .chain name, you can still be tipped for it, because we want to reward the people participation in these debates that we are doing. So nothing more to say. I think we can start with this awesome topic that we have today. It's like traceability and cannabis. So it's like, wow.
A hot topic. Everybody, they've heard the news. The social media is going bonkers about it, and we have the panel here. So I would like to introduce first Pedro Lago de Carvalho, shareholder at Uruguay Can. So Pedro, if you can turn on your camera and join us on stage, that would be great. And I would also like to mention Gonzalo Sobral. He was there from the seed phase, from the idea. He is the enterprise lead embassy of Aeternity. So please, Gonzalo Sobral, join the stage as well by turning your camera on. We'll just wait a little bit for Pedro. And we have Juan Arrillaga. He's co-founder and project lead at InMind, and he's behind the solution working and this platform with multiple applications going on. So Juan, if you could please turn your camera on and join us on stage. So let's start with Gonzalo. Yes. Please tell us how the cannabis traceability idea was born. I think it was 1 year ago, and it's already happening. And it was born in Uruguay. Maybe you can let us know also about, for the audience, about the legal aspects of marijuana growing in Uruguay. So the stage is yours. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, about 1 year ago, we began with the idea of launching the operations of aeternity here in Americas, and it was decided that Uruguay will be the launch platform. Yes, and we were seeking for some kind of lighthouse projects from here that we can use the platform, the technology, and show all other part of the world the things that they can do with the use of blockchain in their enterprises. But when we will begin thinking about a traceability project that was related more in logistics, but that project don't seem to be so good or so perfect, and we began thinking in Uruguay what things people around the world were talking about Uruguay in press, and there were three main things. One was the soccer national team, yes. The other one was the former president Jose Mujica, and the third thing, we have here a very particular legislation. Uruguay was the first country in the world that has a legislation that allows to produce marijuana for both uses. Medicine uses, medicine cannabis, and recreational cannabis. So you can buy here legally, if you are over 18 years old, cannabis at the pharmacy with no problem. You only need to register your name, and once a month you can go there and take 40 grams of recreational cannabis, legal recreational cannabis. And for on the other hand, we have this production, a big production. There are near 20 companies working here in Uruguay related to medicinal cannabis. So we think, okay, this will be a good project. We can make traceability there. We can the Uruguay and the cannabis is in the map. So it will be interesting to work with this, show the technology, work on the aeternity platform, and this was the beginning. We make the presentation of this idea on September last year on Prague on Universe 1, and from October up to here we work on the project, and now it's a reality.
Well, so it's quite fast, right? You started 1 year ago, and 8 months later we have the solution, and we are sharing it with everybody here. So thank you, Gonzalo. I would like to know, Pedro,
yes.
why did you decide to invest in Uruguay, become an investor? Which were the main aspects that made you feel this is a project that I would like to be part of?
Firstly, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be part of this panel, and thank you to all for organizing it. There was two main issues that made me look into UCAN, and they were crucial for me to invest. One was all the work that UCAN has developed until the moment I joined UCAN, in terms of understanding the business, in terms of markets, in terms of production, because there was lots of noise in the market, especially with the Canadians and the way that Canadians were growing medicinal cannabis. The other important thing was traceability, and in this case, the blockchain project that they were already started when I joined UCAN, and why it's so critical, because when you look to the medicinal cannabis world, one of the things that is difficult is traceability of batches. It means that, for instance, Novartis is doing a development in one medicine, and the batches change from 1 year to another, even knowing that they are the same supplier. Because if you don't have the same methods of production, the same seeds, you have different results. There are 130 almost types of different cannabis with different grades, different active ingredients. So it's very difficult to make sure that the product was the same. So traceability became a critical issue. The other important thing has to do with the fact that the market itself, it's still in the early stage of being regulated. So for me, the company that starts by having the traceability of the product through all the phases, it will be the one that will be better prepared for the future in terms of regulation and how the market will develop. So this was the two main issues for me in terms of looking into UCAN. Of course, that as already said, Uruguay, it's been a very interesting player in the cannabis field, producing more than 100 tons this year. So it has been in the development of the industry. But these two main issues, the traceability and all the work that has been done, it's been great.
Yes, absolutely. I think that it's going to be, like a value proposal on your product to have this traceability feature, right? Imagine you took an antibiotic one day and it works, and the next one it doesn't. That would be madness. This could happen with the CBD concentration, the cannabinoid concentration in marijuana. So this solution becomes vital for having a very safe and controlled atmosphere, and a lot of control on the products that you're going to be selling later on. So I think I've lost Juan. Are you there, Juan? Because I have a question for you. If you could tell us a little bit about this 8 months hard work on Uruguay Can solution for traceability. Were you medical cannabis experts in mind, or you became ones after working on the project? And if you can, we would love to see, like, after you answer the question, mini live demo to see how it works, because we have been speaking about this a lot, but to see it working, it's like what excites us a lot. So the stage is yours. Please tell us about how it was to build it.
Mary, thank you very much. Hi all, how are you? Okay, the reality is that at the beginning we weren't expert in marijuana, in medicinal cannabis, but we knew something about the life cycle of the growing of growing marijuana, but not in details, but also not all the life cycle that a marijuana plant or a lot of plants will have inside a greenhouse, okay? Because the main objective of this project was to have all the traceability of a lot of marijuana, of a lot of plant of marijuana inside a greenhouse, okay? In the beginning, in the cuts that are planted in small pots and finishing in the packaging, okay? In all the stages of this life cycle, the greenhouse operator collect all the important data, the dates, all the procedures that are applied in the lots, the treatments, the fertilizations, and all this is registered by the app and stored in the blockchain. Okay, so all the traceability can't be modified and can be checked always, because when you finish each step of the life cycle, all this information goes to the blockchain. Okay, and this was the process in order to know about the life cycle of the cannabis. Was with meetings with Uruguay Can, okay, in order to understand the life cycle of the plant itself, okay, and then all the life cycle that we have to trace inside the greenhouse. And this was our experience. Now I think that we are almost experts in cannabis traceability inside a greenhouse. And I will show you the platform, okay? The platform is composed by 2 applications and a back office, okay? The 2 applications, one of them is for the greenhouse operator, okay? He will use the application in order to collect all the data. The other application is for the laboratories that will buy the medicinal cannabis, okay, in order that the laboratory can see all the traceability using this app, okay? And the back office is will be used by the greenhouse administrator, okay? In the back office, the greenhouse administrator will create all the procedures and all the work orders that needs to be applied in each lot of plants in each stage. Okay?
Great.
So now I will share my screen in order that you can see something about this. So I will begin with the applications. Okay, first Okay, this is the login. I have two applications that it has the same look and feel. Okay, one is the operator and one is the laboratory application. But anybody will have both applications installed at the same time in the same phone. So I will log in both. Okay. This one is the application for the greenhouse operator. Okay. We have two tabs that in this one, en curso is on course. We have all the lots that aren't finished. Okay. And here we have all the lots that are finished. Okay. All the life cycle is complete and the packaging was made. So it's finished. When you go to a lot that is finalized, you can see all the information about it in all the stages. Okay, there you can see all the life cycle of that we are tracing inside the greenhouse. It starts in esquejado, that is the cuts. Okay, when you cut the mother plants and you put in the soil, in the substrate, and it ends in the packaging. Okay. In each state, okay, you can see the details. If you go, I will go to flowering, floración, okay, and here I can see the general information about it, okay, the variety of the cannabis, when it starts, when it's finished. The irrigation is by, I don't know how to say goteo, but the irrigation is by drops, okay, by drops, yeah. How many plants are per meter, the composition of the substrate, the pot size, and the location in the greenhouse. Okay, all this data was entered by the operator during this stage, and there we have meditions. Okay, these meditions, there is the humidity in the ambient, the temperature, the amount of light, the amount of irrigation. Okay, all these are graphs that the data will be collected by sensors, okay, but by weather sensors that will be inside the greenhouse. And in case the weather sensor doesn't work, the operator can add this information manually also, okay? And you can see in both cases the graphs, or you can change by putting all the list of measures that has been entered. You have treatments and fertilization. I will find another one that has information there, that you can see it.
Because we need to explain that the next planting season is going to be June and July here in Uruguay. So that's when we're going to do the whole process for the first time in the platform.
Exactly.
So still there you have information about
it. There we have in this stage of this lot, we have that 2 treatments has been made. Okay, we have all the information about the treatment, which is the product, which is the composition of the product, the commercial name, when was done, if it's organic or not, and the amount of product that we use in order to know about how much product we put on this treatment. Sorry. Also, we have the fertilizations that was made, and you can see all the information in all the stages. Okay. On the other hand, this is the app for the operator. Okay. When in June, when it starts again, the operator will create a new lot. Okay, he will put a lot number. He will select the variety, and if there are beacons, okay, available, he will select the beacon that is related to this lot. Okay, the lot is created, and the first stage is active, the cutting. Okay, I'll go to the cutting, and I can see the measures and the treatments for this stage. Okay, the measures is empty because we don't have right now the sensors, but the operator can put it manually in case he wants. And you can see that he put it manually, it starts to make the graph.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the treatment, we don't have any treatment because we create this one just now, but I want to show you the back office that will be used by the administrator of the greenhouse. So we are in the lot 32112. Yeah. Okay, I will go to work orders. Okay, I will select this lot. I will create a new order, a new work order. I will select the stage. Okay, cutting in this case. I will select this procedure. I will put a start date and end date. I will select the product, the measurement unit, okay, and the concentration. I don't know. I put something because I'm not sure. Okay, so I create this work order, and then I go again to this stage of cutting, and there you can see a batch that is the new treatment. I go to a new treatment, and I can see all the data that I complete in the back office, that the administrator complete in the back office, and you can see a start treatment button, okay? The start treatment button, the idea is when we have the beacons is that the operator can start the treatment if he is near of the beacon. If he is in his house or 5 meters of the beacons, it won't be possible to start this treatment. This is made to have more control, okay? Because we want that the operator start the treatment when he's in front of the lot, not if he's in his house and he remembers that he didn't make the treatment and he puts the button. No, we want that he's in the place, okay?
You want a warranted process, like being very certain that things are done the way that they appear on the platform. So that is
exactly.
like something like to be super secure, both the company that is conducting the cultivation and also the buyer, right? The laboratory.
Yes, exactly. Because, for example, imagine that you have a lot of plants that one day you go to a greenhouse and all the lot is dead. Okay, the first question is why it is all the lot is dead. Okay, so I can go to this stage and I can see if the treatment was made, okay, or not at this date where it was planned, or maybe it wasn't made the treatment, and we will have all the information, and we be sure that if the treatment was made, it was made because the operator was in place, okay, not in another place.
Perfect.
Okay, after now I can, it's for demo purpose and I don't have beacons, so I can start and finalizing the treatment without having the beacon. But when I finish, I have to enter how much I used in the procedure, okay, of the product. Now we can see that it's complete and we can see all the information. After we complete all the information about a stage, and only when you complete all the information, you can finalize this stage, okay? Okay, now I can finalize it because I didn't complete all the task, okay? It's missing the location in the greenhouse. Okay, I put the location and I finalize the stage. Now the stage cutting is finalized and I can start with the vegetative stage. Okay. On the other hand, we have the laboratory application. Okay, this is the main view of the laboratory application. They have a QR scanner and a text box in order to put a lot number, and we have another tab that are in order that they can see the lots that are assigned to the laboratory. The laboratory can't see all the lots, only the lots that are assigned to them. So in order to assign a lot, I go to, in the back office, I go to the list of users. I search for the user that I want to assign a lot. I tap there and I search the lot that I want to assign. Only finalized lot can be assigned. Okay, I assign the lot, and when I go to the lot, I can see this new lot in the list, and I can see all the traceability, all the information that was collected in all the stages. And the laboratory has only the laboratory app and not the operator app has a button at the bottom, aeternity, in order that they can see the aeternity middleware explorer with all the information related with this lot.
Wow, you know what? It's the first time I see it like that. I'm impressed.
Okay.
So, and the good thing is, so when you assign the lot to a laboratory, you don't need to disclose any unneeded information. They will only have the information that you sold to him, of the lots that you sold to that laboratory, and the rest of the information from Uruguay remains private, right?
Exactly. They will only see what you want that they see. And for example, when you assign a lot to a laboratory, it will they will receive an email, okay, they will receive an email like this one, with a QR code, okay, in order that if they want, they can scan the QR code, or if they want, they can search for the lot, putting the number.
Good. Okay. Juan. So thank you very much.
You are welcome.
It was really to see it live working. I can't wait for the June season to begin, and we have a lot of questions from the audience. So I would like to ask Gonzalo and Pedro to turn on their cameras and come back on stage. Maybe this question would be for Pedro. It says, I have a question for the cannabis panel. Does it make sense from a business perspective to put all the details about the plants on the blockchain? I think this question was kind of answered regarding the privacy of the data, that only the buyer is going to see that data. But maybe, Pedro, you could answer this question.
Yes. Look, it makes sense. And basically because we want to make sure that we have a transparent system, that people can trace back up to the plant itself and can see whatever treatment was done, whatever work was done on the plant, how we grew it. So to make sure that if there is a difference on the medical side, the laboratory has the possibility to understand what changed and why one batch to the other there is a difference and adjust it. So the most important thing about blockchain for us is transparency and sustainability for future operation. So if we don't trace it back to the plant, it's only half of the system. It means that the lab will not be able to know the full information and adjust it.
Yeah, completely agree. There's another question that says, do you use IoT devices, Juan, to obtain the environmental variables?
Yes, we are going to use IoT sensors for weather to get the weather information inside the greenhouse. Yes.
But still, if they don't have the IoT sensors, they can still...
No. All the platform is prepared to use the beacons and the weather sensors, but this is not live because the sensors are not available yet. And in a second stage of the project, we are going to connect all this.
Good, great. There's another question. It says, what if I want to invest in this technology? Well,
talk with me. Gonzalo at aeternity.
So there's your guy. Do we have any other questions, any other insights you want to share, guys? Or we can give Alex
I have a question. I think we have a few minutes. And it's like, I'm wondering, I want you to know your opinion about if this solution can help collapsing the barriers in other countries to advancing cannabis normalization, both for recreational and medical uses, because I think it could be, and I'm really eager to see Uruguay can in Spain before the next Uruguayan soccer player arrives to our league. That would be awesome.
That's good. I think this can help for that stuff of the barriers. But I think one important thing in this is legalization for one hand, and the other is the business perspective. Bank of Toronto is a Canadian bank that finance so many projects around the world related to cannabis. They say that for 2025, the global market of medicinal cannabis will be of $200,000 million. So there's a very huge opportunity for any country in the world that can make this kind of law for this kind of use of the cannabis, the medicinal use of the cannabis, not the recreational, but the medicinal use, and this is the business part that is very important.
Look, I have a different opinion. I agree that it's important, and I believe that it's crucial for the demystification of cannabis around the world. If we look to what happened to other industries, and I came from a completely different industry from cannabis, where there was lots of barriers. People were not considering that industry to be clean, and the perception of the industry was not good. The same happened with cannabis now. There is a lot of confusion between recreational and medical, and it's always been seen as people related to cannabis as being drug dealers. In fact, that's more or less the idea. So if we start having traceability and people understand that this is a normal business like selling Coca-Cola, and that you have reputable operators, that you can trace the production to the plant, that everybody involved in the system are legal companies, that they have social corporate responsibilities, that they have all these things, we start demystifying the idea around cannabis as being like a drug from the 60s, where people only have cannabis to get high. And that's not the case. Of course, that is recreational, and it's one thing, and that is medical, but there is a legal business. We're not talking about illegal and having cash under the table. So these technologies will allow us to create to increase the reputation around these businesses, plus the traceability.
Pedro, I have another question. Which are the markets, which countries are the buyers of the medical cannabis, the main buyers?
Okay, the main buyers are in Europe, Switzerland, Germany, where you have the main labs and the ones that have been developing lots of cannabis, medical cannabis products. Everybody was counting on the US as a recreational market, and that's where Canada was growing and did not went very well because the market did not expand as they expected. But on the medicinal, it's the European countries. The problem is that the legislation varies from country to country. Some of them allow you 1% of THC, the other ones only allow 0.2%. And because it's not regulated and it's not equal in every country, you also have barriers that exist to sell across countries, which is another thing that needs to be solved.
Yeah, I understand. And another question that maybe you could answer, or Gonzalo, regarding the amount, today, is there available the amount of medical cannabis to satisfy the market, or it is something that needs further development?
Perhaps Pedro knows better the question. I think all the last harvest of cannabis here in Uruguay is sold about a year ago, and I think next harvest too.
Look, it will depend as well as the medical cannabis will develop in terms of the certification in each one of the countries. Because one of the things is you don't have many doctors around the world that are allowed to prescribe medical cannabis. In some of the countries, like for instance, I believe UK, you only have a handful of doctors that are allowed to prescribe these things. As long as the markets grow and there are more products in terms of medicines for painkillers and other things, of course that the market will continue growing. At this stage in Europe, because of COVID-19, there is a shortage of medicinal cannabis for the laboratory.
Thanks a lot, Pedro, Juan, Gonzalo. I'm impressed about this very interesting project. There is also like leveraging the unique features of aeternity, the blockchain, and I'm sure that we will be hearing some more news about it like very soon all over the world. So congratulations, really good job. Thanks,
yes.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks
okay,
to you.
Thank you guys.
Now it's
Bye-bye.
time to go for the. Thank you, Juan.